Welcome to the Land Your Bet Sports Betting Live Show. Happy Tuesday to everybody. We are just a couple minutes late, so cut me some slack here. We got live show producer David in house as always. Our man had a big day playing the Premier League, as he just told me, and now we're gonna be probably peppering you for some Premier League stuff. And then he's going to tell us that it's because of live betting instead of not live betting and whatever. And we're going to say we don't want excuses. We want winners in the Premier League. But maybe we'll talk some soccer soon, man. You just kind of sprung that on me. I didn't know you were that good at betting on the EPL. But we'll get into that later. We've got a lot to look at here. Even though there's 5 games, we're waiting on some pretty big news. We've got the Jonathan Isaac Cole Anthony news for the Magic. That is a big deal, whether you believe it is or not. I promise you, it's a big deal. We're also going to be waiting on the. We got everyone for Toronto. And then the 76ers, that's the key one. There's we've got Paul George, Andre Drummond, Yabusele. All 3 of those dudes are questionable against the Nuggets. That's going to be a problem. If you don't have any centers against the Nuggets, you're in for a rough time. Big rough time. But I've been putting some plays on the card today that I'm really liking. I'm leaning into the plays I like. I've got, like, for instance, on Mikal Bridges today, I have about 1.6 units to make 6 units back worth of bets in 3 different bets with a little plus 1,200 on the 30 plus points for him. So just keep that kind of stuff in mind as you look at as you come into the stream. Scrolling on the bottom there, that scroll's got the plays and some other stuff that you might need. Check the description of the video. That's going to have everything you need as well. And I'll go over how we did it last night real quick on a little 10-unit heater for the last couple of days. So we'll get into that, and David will keep us posted on those injuries as always. Like I was mentioning for the 76ers, Paul George, Yabu, and Andre Drummond, and then even AD and LeBron James for the Lakers. We want to know about them and their injuries. So we'll keep that stuff looking here. But I see everybody jumping in. I appreciate you guys for everything. We have had a pretty nice couple days here. Let me just pull up yesterday. This is yesterday, Monday. Really nice 10-3 on MLK Day, 6.5 units. So got back up over 40, actually over 45.5 units. A lot of stuff to like there. If you were on yesterday's show and checking things out, we pulled up a bunch of these bets on the show. A lot of these winners, and then a few only in the VIP that we hit afterwards because we needed a few more bits of information that we didn't have. Obviously, yesterday they were early games, so we had a really early show. But the day before that we bet, we took it a little day off on Sunday. It was a weird slate. Did not like it. Saturday liked a lot of it. 6-2 plus 3.8. So with that in mind, we are up 10 units in the last couple of days. There's 2 more codes left for up 10. So if you use up 10 to get into the VIP, you will get 50% off your first month using that one. And we do have the ability still running the same option here for you to get a free month in the VIP if you do use code LYB when you sign up for any of the books that are actually scrolling right underneath me here. And then they're all listed in the description of the video as well. Take a screenshot of you signing, or just proof that you signed up using code LYB on any of these books: Underdog, BETR, BetMGM, Sleeper, a couple others. And when you do that, you can DM me the proof there on Twitter or Discord at JLBoogie. I'll go ahead and get you that free month in the Discord. I think I owe one of you, I know that as well. So I'll be getting back to you guys as soon as I can. Busy day for sure. Let's go ahead and just start getting into what we've got here. I'm going to take a look at what you guys are looking at and then get into things. I think first game we can probably pull up is going to be Orlando, Toronto. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. And we will be using Props Madness, as I believe you guys are pretty aware at this point. So if you do not yet have an account with Props Madness, you can get 25% off your first month. You can also get a free trial by doing that. So if you just want a free trial to test it out for a week and see if it's something that actually helps you with your bets, you can do that as well. So check that out, propsmadness.com, linked in the description of the video as well. And as always, give that video a like if you would. But appreciate everybody that's in here. We got Sergeant Blazzini in here. I've got everybody in here, man. What's up, Adrian? Seen you a couple times now. James, Mies to God. And if you do see my guys in here, Street Cred and Free Sauce, both these dudes and probably a couple others that you'll see jumping into the chat, they are in the VIP section of the Discord and the free section of the Discord, kind of leading the charge there. And they're dropping plays as well, the VIP cappers that we have in there. So check them out. What's up, GLB Bets? Good to have you a couple days in a row. Well, success. Let's get it. And Marcus, as always. What's up, Adam? Buckeyes. Yeah, who had that? We should be, I guess we're going to have to talk about this. It was brought to my attention yesterday by my guy TG Proby that we do have a Grady Dick, Anthony Black show off tonight. Maybe a jersey swap again. We'll see how it goes. All right. So I'm going to see if you guys got anything. Otherwise, I'm just going to jump right into the first one I'm looking at here. And yeah, I don't really like this slate. So I do have a smaller or like a fewer guys that I've bet on and a lot more bets leaning into what I've got. Another guy I would recommend listening to what he says. Crank Zone's always doing early work and trying to find some of the edges too. Does a really good job. In everybody's Discord, everywhere, you'll always see him. So he's got some good looks if you want to check those out. Let me know if you get there, bro. If you do see Cole Anthony out, we should know about that immediately. Yeah, let me know what you got, Mike, when you bring your bets. Nice Keontae George hit. Yeah, the points was a good play there. Collier is everything. I'm really close. He got the 10 dimes. I said I'm close to naming my child Isaiah Collier Lander. My wife doesn't know yet, but she's about to find out. So what's up, Andre? You like Jaime Jaquez today, 8.5 points. You said he went over in 2 or 3 games. That the game he did not, he still had 7 or 7. PRA also is a look. Last 5 game, 100% hit rate. 67% hit rate. Yeah, so he's back getting a bunch of minutes, right? I know some people like Jovic tonight, so there could be something there for our guy. I think Tyler Hero is now questionable too, so we should be checking that out, and we'll be staying on top of all that stuff. All right, so I've got the first look that I had here for this game. Actually, let me just start with the one that Crank Zone brought to the chat there and pointed our way, because once Cole Anthony was ruled late questionable ad with an illness tag, that was a pretty nice indication that there was going to be some more guard minutes for an already very, very thin team. I think Gary Harris might have been already ruled out as well. I'm going to pull up the NBA injury report real quick. If you don't check this out, this is the official NBA injury report. Highly recommend using this, like at least as your sort of like catch-all, because this is the official one, linked in the description of the video as well. All the tools you'll see me using here: Props Madness, the injury report, some hashtag basketball. We'll get into that in a sec. But looking at the injury report for Orlando right here. So we got Cole Anthony still questionable. Obviously, Goga out. Harris and Jet Howard questionable. And then Jonathan Isaac is questionable as well. And Isaac and Cole Anthony were late additions to that injury report with the illness there. I don't know if it's COVID related or not, but either way, there's going to be a lot of minutes for guards. And Tristan Da Silva should be good to pick those up. And he's got a great matchup. So we did target him. I like his points at 9.5. It's 10.5 now. And I don't think you can get 9.5 anywhere. Yeah. So then the threes we got for plus money, and it's minus 105. I think I'd just be taking the threes if you would rather not drink the juice or take 10.5. 6 points off of threes. Not obviously doesn't need to get to the 10 or 11 there. Since we got this at 9.5, I'm really like hesitant to say like, yeah, take 10.5, because that hook always happens that way. And you still do have an edge at 10.5 at minus 110. I will say, if you want to take that, the math says you have at least a 10% edge, which, without going too far into that right now, is what you need. Like, I wouldn't bet anything if I didn't feel I had a 10% edge on what I expect him to do versus what the books are telling me they expect him to do. So I took him for the threes and the points. If you want that, like I said, the points are fine at 10.5. If you feel better about the threes and you'd rather get minus 105, or if you have Bet River, plus 115 for the 2.5, the 1.5 threes here, that's a good look. A couple of things on Props Madness that help us get there for Da Silva. First of all, he played the 31 minutes, and that's what I expect him to play tonight. Like, when he's playing normal minutes, it's 31 minutes. In this game against the Celtics, he also played 31 minutes. Yeah, so he's back to his normal minutes. There was 2 games here where he didn't play, right? It was 22 minutes against Milwaukee. I believe he was still coming off the injury that he suffered in this game against Philly, where he played 1 minute and then had to leave, right? So there's clear-cut explanations for why his minutes were down, which led to not getting the threes. And then against the Celtics, he went 1 for 3, played 31 minutes, but the Celtics limit 3-point shots. Plus, Cole Anthony was out there fully healthy. So we have some things working in our favor here, as long as he plays 30 plus and takes, I think he's good for 6 3 attempts against the Raptors, who allowed the 9th most 3-point attempts. You can see just by hovering over the next game here on the game chart, that I'll get all the info about Toronto that I would want. 3-pointers allowed, defensive rank versus shot zone, defensive rating, whatever. We can talk more about that. If you have any questions about Props Madness, just hit me in the chat, and David will bring the comment up and we can take a look at it. But what I'm looking at too is the play type analysis, going right to that. This is how he scores the bulk of his points, right? So you can see here, he scores 3.5 points per game off of the spot up shot, where someone passes in the ball, he's set and pulls it. 37% of his points that he's scoring off of that number right there. That's the Raptors here. Their defensive rank against that play, they're giving up the 6th most points off of the spot up. Transition is the other way that he scores, 24th is the Raptors. So they're giving up the 7th most transition points to the opponent. That's another 16% of his points. So you get the point. Like, this dude is scoring in ways that the Toronto defense is super vulnerable. So I do like him to catch some like passes from Paolo for 3. So that's whichever one you want to do. Like I said, I'm fine with either the 3s or the points. I generally prefer points, but I got the plus money on the 3, so I like that. As far as other bets in this game, do have a couple others, and there's one that I want to look at, which is Pirtle. And I know we're going to get questions about Dick. It's tough for me to take Dick in this situation. Damn, I didn't really want to say that. It's tough for me to choose Dick. There's no good way around this. All right, there's no way that I really want to bet Grady tonight. I'm going to be honest with y'all, but we'll come back to him in a minute. Let's circle back to the Dick. Jakob Pirtle. Points is what I was looking at. And there's a couple of things that, okay, so this is still 12.5, minus 110. I think I got to hit that on principle, because if this moves, let me see what this is on FanDuel. I only have one play for the Raptors right now, and that is Scotty Bonds to get over 5.5 dimes. But that was a nice early look with some CLV to boot, because that was just an incorrect line. 5.5 assists for a man averaging 6.5. It was basically based on the fact that he has a bad matchup history against them. But give me one sec to look at Pirtle on FanDuel, because that's still not pulling through on Props Madness. So if we look at Pirtle points, yeah, he's at 13.5 on FD as well for even money. I think the 12.5 on DK, that cannot possibly be sticking around. I'm going to hit that. I mean, listen, man, Daff stays with his dick jokes. I don't know if I could ever reach the level. Also, you got to check out Jedi Modai. That man stays with the dick jokes. You can't stop him from making a dick joke. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So what I'm looking at here, and I think this is going to move. So let me just get the bet in and I'll show you. Let's add that to the card, please, David. The over 12.5 points for Jakob Pirtle. Probably, wait. Sorry, pause before I get that in. There's 9.5 on DraftKings for the rebounds. I think the rebounds are the thing.
That's what I took.
Yeah, wait. I mean, the rebounds are what I like more than anything. And those were at like 11.5 at one point. And now, so I'll show you what I'm looking at too, though, real quick. Player boards for Jakob. So yeah, 11 and so 10. Yeah, wait. So 9.5 is minus 135 though, which like I'm just like on principle if we stand on that. So combos, what's the double for him? It's gonna be shit odds. Yeah. Oh wait, it's plus 110. That's the bet. All right, that's the Pirtle bet. Double plus 110 on DraftKings. There's no way it's that good on this book right here, FanDuel. Right? Oh, it's even money. All right, great. Let's take plus 110, please, on DraftKings. Let me text that in as well. What y'all think about that? And I took the Wendell Carter double. That's not a bad double little parlay right there. Add to the cart. All right. I've gotten good, David, about dual wielding here, where I have my people placing bets who are already in the VIP, so I don't have to dual text this. All right. We've got Jakob Pirtle. He's Pirtle-y enough for the Pirtle Club. Double.
I love you just casually mentioned that on a recorded video.
No, what? What are you talking about? This is getting deleted. Playable to so plus 100 would be, yeah, plus 100 is still like a 20% edge. Am I crazy? Now I feel like I'm missing something. This is such a good edge. That's what she said. We haven't used Dick or Edge in one yet, so I guess kudos to whomever comes up with the first Edge Dick joke for Grady. We got to get an Edge. Bad. Something about Edge on the Dick. Yeah, Suggs Dick is going to be. Unfortunately, there's no one to Suggs the Dick tonight because Suggs is out. So I don't know. We're going to have to find other ways to cover the Dick than Suggs it. Jakob Pirtle double. That's a wonderful price. I don't know why that would be. The 9.5 boards. Anyway, the double good for him there. I'm fine with it. I mean, someone's got to score, and the boards I like a ton anyway. So I can't believe we're getting the 9.5 boards. But all right. Anything else in this game? I guess I can look at a few other things in this game. Oh yeah, I did have Wendell Carter, just for those who want to get that bet in. I think a big part of this is Jonathan Isaac's not in, and even when Jonathan Isaac, if he is out, like great, then Wendell Carter's got to play against Jokic like the whole time, or not Jokic, excuse me, against Pirtle the entire time. Wrong Eastern European. But like the 36 to 38 minutes is pretty reasonable for Wendell Carter tonight. That's really what that bet is predicated on. He's been in the starting lineup now for the last 2 games. He's played 33, 32, and 34 minutes in the last, actually, it's the last 3 games, excuse me. So he's getting up there in minutes, and they don't have another center. For a team that had like 5 centers coming into the season, they are down to Wendell Carter Jr., who's a forward center, if you will, in that hybrid sense of the way. But all right, so I'm going to see about a couple other things in here. Like I said, there's only a couple games here that I'm like feeling like we can actually get a big question in there. So let me put up these. If there's anything else for the starred stuff too, David, that'd be good. We've got De Silva on the card. KCP threes is a look as well. I suppose he'd be the another guy that would be liable to go off against this Raptors bad spot up defense. Yeah, that's true. Once we get those, I mean, I guess we're not going to be able to get brands that would like worry about too much dick talk, essentially. For our sponsorships, we'll have to be pretty poignant with that. The KCP look, man, he's so untrustworthy. Honestly, if he's not spotting up, then he's not pulling. Like, he's really not even driving to the rim at all. Like, let's see. Yeah, half his shots from 3. He did take 14 against, I mean, it was the Nuggets too, right? I guess we should have been targeting him. He still only got 12 points against the Nuggets. Like, he would have barely climbed over an 11.5 point prop. Now it's up to 12.5. He is the type of player that you would want to take here. I don't really have much interest in adding more bets to this game. I've got a decent amount on it now. I've got the Scotty over on the assists. I did take Pirtle on the double-double, and I've got the look there for Wendell Carter Jr. I do think Paolo is probably going to get some dimes in this one as well. This team's just bad, but we've definitely lost. Yeah, this was at plus money for the dimes here for Paolo, and now it's at the minus 154 for him to get 5. I think I'm going to pass on that, even though I do think he's good for assists. It's just the other thing here is that we do know that Jamal Mosley said that he's not guaranteed to play that many minutes. He's played 30 recently, but he still might be. They're basically taking it by game. And if in the middle of the game he decides he's not feeling well enough to keep going, then they're not going to force it. So just keep that in mind with him. Let's see if we got anything else on here. Yeah, I can see the blocks. I think it was Andre talking about the blocks for Pirtle. I can see that. I guess if Wendell is going to be going into the lane, then that would make sense for sure. All right, let's see. Oh, I got to catch up. Catch up. I'm not caught up. All right, we don't have any updates on the injury report, right, David?
Let me refresh, but there was not a minute ago.
Okay, no worries.
So D'Angelo Russell is going to play.
Okay, in that Brooklyn game?
Yeah.
Let's go over there for sure. Quick reminder as we switch over to that one, give that video a like if you have not yet done so. It goes a super long way to help out with stuff. So much appreciated there. Also do want to let you know that we have the little special running. What am I trying to say? Discount for jumping into the VIP. If you use code UP10 when you do jump in, you can get 50% off your first month. So I would recommend doing that if you want to check it out. You can also get in for a free month if you do not want to just jump in right in. If you do sign up for any of these books here, they're all listed in the description of the video. They're also just scrolling right underneath me, such as BetMGM, Sleeper, BETR, etc. Whatever else I'm forgetting in there. But Underdog is in there. Go ahead and sign up. Use code LYB. That'll get you a bunch of free money and bonus bets. Send me a screenshot on Twitter or Discord at JLBoogie. Send me that screenshot, and I will get you a free month in the VIP for doing so. Kind of a helpful thing there. All right, so I'm rolling into the Knicks game here. I don't know that I'm going to have much for y'all for the other early game here, which is that Blazers Heat game, 4:30. This one, or 7:30, excuse me, for the East Coasters, and then 7:30 for this Knicks and Nets game as well. So, man, I think that we've got to just consider Mikal Bridges. Like, I'm going conspiracy theory on it, but here's my thing, and this is what I was telling the chat in the VIP when I put these bets in for Mikal. He had 26 against Atlanta, shot really well. He took 17 shots in 26 minutes. I don't know that the pace is going to be that fast against the Nets, But when we talk about revenge spot, like I'm really going conspiracy theory on it. So 27 minutes against the Hawks. There has not been a game this season that Mikal Bridges has played fewer than 31 minutes other than the Hawks. 31 minutes or fewer. So I'm sorry, fewer than 32 minutes. Every single game this season, Mikal Bridges has played in, and he's played 32 or more minutes. In this game, one day before they play the Nets, he plays 27 minutes, despite cooking this team for 26 points in 27 minutes. What? You're telling me Tibbs sat Bridges for no reason while he's in the midst of scoring a point a fucking minute, and he takes him out and doesn't put him back in for the same stretches in the third and the fourth quarter? Brian Windhorst, why would he do that? Why would he do that? Next day, you're going up against the Nets, and I believe he's playing 40 minutes in this game. He scored 30 points twice this season. Not a great percentage. He scored 25 points. Let me see. Hold on. Let me get this up to the max amount of games here. What have they played? He's played 44 games this season, have the Knicks, and he has scored, I'm getting this up to 29. This takes a second. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 8, 29. All right, so 30 points twice. That's fine. All right, I'm not worried about that. I took him for 1.1 units. I just threw a 0.1 unit bet on him to get the 30 points tonight. 24 and a half, he's done 6 out of 44 times. Also bad. I put a half a unit on that at plus 460 for him to get the 25 points. And then I didn't even go to his core prop at 17 and a half. I just went to 19 and a half and took that. All these games, I mean, I legit don't think he's playing fewer than 38 minutes. And I think he could play 44 minutes tonight. But in 38 minutes, as far as the 20 points goes, still about half of them. I just think they're going to be looking for him. I think it's all about the field goal attempts more than the minutes, to be honest. Like, I think he's going to get the 20 field goal attempts tonight, and that he's going to be shooting plenty of threes. This is a terrible defense against the spot up shot and against the transition, where Mikal is getting out into the break all the time. He's not rebounding. I'll tell you that. He's barely ever rebounding. So he's always getting out into the transition. So I do think he's going to have a big night tonight. So I took him on all his core prop, like the 20 plus points, 25 plus, 30 plus. We got the ladder in there for Mikal. I'm just leaning in. I don't like a ton in this game, and I really don't want to bet much in this Knicks and Nets game at all. The Nets, let me just tell you right now, like, handicapping basketball is based on the baseline understanding that there's two teams competing to win a basketball game. I can't guarantee you the Nets, the Blazers, who am I forgetting? The Wizards for sure. Even the Jazz, as much as I love Isaiah Collier, they're not playing their best players because they're not trying to win. I can't handicap that. I have to assume that you're both trying to win for me to feel like I can even handicap it. So I don't want to touch anything with the Nets. Like, yeah, D'Lo's there, Cam Johnson's there. If they do too well, they might get taken out if the game plan for that game is to not win. So I'm just kind of out on that stuff. And then as far as everybody else on the Knicks goes, look, I mean, if you want to take Miles McBride, I think that's probably, why am I saying probably? That's definitely a bet. The other problem is I can't guarantee that the backups are going to play even when the Knicks are up 30 points in the fourth quarter. So sticking to my guns here, I would love to be able to just take Miles or Precious. Maybe I would take Precious before Miles if we're talking about it. Points are pretty low. And the reason being mostly just that Cat is in, but like he was questionable, right? He was questionable to play yesterday. I mean, I don't know why you would force this against the Nets, but it's Tibbs. He's a maniac. That's the problem. Is this was any other coach in the league besides Tibbs, I'd be like, slam those backup props because they're going to be the ones playing by the middle of the third quarter and the rest of the game. But I can't guarantee that with Tibbs because he's still going to have Josh Hart and Miles McBride Mikal Bridges running out 48 minutes out there when they're up by 30 against a team tanking. So just keep that in mind. But Precious, I think, would be the play more so because of Cat being more likely to get time off than Josh Hart or anybody else that might be questionable for the Knicks. So now I'm really starting to talk myself into Precious props, to be honest with you. Let's say he plays 20 minutes tonight. Let's do 18 to 22. Because there might be something there with just sheer volume. 4.5 rebounds. The points are at 4.5 as well. So the points and rebounds are just a measly 9.5 for him. When he's played 18 to 22 minutes, he's averaging 10.8. It's not that much of a difference, but again, I've been burned by taking backups in blowout wins for the Knicks, and Tibbs doesn't give those backups minutes, and it screws me. So I'd be leaning Precious if anybody wants to take a backup for the Knicks. That's where I'd be going for that one. But seeing if y'all have anything else out for this one. Yeah, I can check it and let me know if there's a reason why you have that in there for a look for D'Lo in the first quarter. Has he been playing minutes in the first quarter? That's always what I want to know more than anything is like, can you bank on his minutes? 6, 3. It's not much there for first quarter points. That's not going to be a look for sure. Yeah, and I don't trust anything with D'Lo or otherwise for the first, second, third, or fourth quarter, to be honest. So, all right. Let me see. Just trying to see if I can get any other looks for this play. Yeah, exactly. They're just going to kill him, man. He's just going to run him into the ground. So, yeah. If y'all like, cat threes could be there. Nick Claxton is going to play some drop defense. He doesn't like to go all the way out there, so that makes sense. But all right, let's move on from this one because I'm not going to recommend that anybody bet on the Nets. I can tell you a lean or two, but it's not going to be worth our time to look at that game. I'll tell you right now. The Heat and Blazers, same story, bro. I'm sorry. Is there any? I haven't even been paying attention to that, David. Is there anything relevant to that update for the Heat and Blazers that we should know about, or anybody questionable I didn't consider, or anything like that?
There was all right. So the most recent updates are, that's the only one for today's gonna be Chris Boucher, ruled out for Tuesday.
Okay. So Boucher is out, meaning there's, I guess, more Dick minutes, to be honest. All right. So I know, yeah, at least for this game, then we've got, and is Hero questionable? Is that still a thing or what?
No
Hero's
update
questionable right groin tightness. Interesting. Okay. So I was looking at one thing in this game, and we should at least look at the look that Free Sauce is bringing up for Denny Avdija and his was it rebounds and assists or assists? Can you bring that back up? My banger for the day is the double because of the boards. Is that what you like there, Free Sauce? Yeah, rebounds. Okay, so which is, yeah, always make sure that if you're going to take the double-double versus the prop that you like if 10 boards is better number than the double-double, just take the 10 boards, obviously, which is what you always see with like Jason Tatum, is that he has better numbers for the rebounds prop than the double-double. Because I think he's going to get 10 assists, which he almost never does. So I don't know why they would think that. But Tyler Hero, questionable. Jimmy playing weird minutes. This is another reason I don't mess with this team anyway, but now you got Jimmy in an even weirder place than normal. And yeah, I like this look from you, Andre, for one thought. At least my preliminary thought with it is like rebounds are a hustle stat. I mean, just look at this man's picture. Does this man look like he's about to go out and hustle in this basketball game? So yeah, under rebounds is a look. 5 in a row, but really, I mean, 2 in a row since he's been back. And then it's just weird, bro. Like, is he going to play if they have the opportunity? If this game is close against the Blazers, is he going to be in there at the end? I don't know. He played 28 minutes. The under seems to keep being the play for him. So yeah, under 28 and a half. It's against the Blazers. Like, what are they going to give him big minutes against the Blazers? Now it's just like there's head games. Like, is Spo going to play him because he doesn't want to play and be like, well, now I'm going to force you to play Jimmy because you don't want to and you have no joy in the game or whatever the hell he's complaining about. Like, man, I don't know. Moved down since the end of the books, no margin. Yeah, good question. Like, so a Q tag is usually going to bring a player's prop down because there is at least the thought process that like if he's questionable, then there's the chance that even if he does play, he's not 100%, and so that you're going to keep those props a little bit lower from that standpoint. So good question. If you lost CLV on it because of the questionable tag, it's not a big deal. You might have missed the buy low point, and if you can cash out and buy in again, you won't be able to though, right? Because the number dipped down below what you have it at, so they're not going to give you an early cash out or they might let you refund it for the full price, but that would be it. So you can see if you can cash it out and buy back in, but if you can't, then you might as well just stick with it and not worry about the CLV too much, the closing line value there. So yeah, I like a Jimmy under big time. We've got Denny playing. The only thing that I'm worried about, Free Sauce, is the presence of Jeremy Grant, right? Was he back last game? Okay, so he's been back, but he's missed most of these games. So that would be my only hesitancy is like, is there, and let me just start here on StatMuse. This is a nice, simple way. Denny Avdija with and without Jeremy Grant this season. So for those of y'all don't have StatMuse, I do believe this is behind a paywall at this point, but it's super simple, so it's pretty helpful. So there's some pretty big differences when he plays with and without Jay Grant. That's the only thing to consider. I don't know if that's going to be the case moving forward. Another reason I don't love betting on the Blazers is I don't know what their rotation is going to be. But that's a crazy shift in minutes for Denny Avdia. It doesn't look good that way. There's more to it than that, obviously. Is the starting lineup going to basically be him? Let me pull up my lineups here. This is Fantasy Labs, what I'm bringing up now. For those of y'all not familiar, this shows me what happens when guys play on the court with certain other guys and without others. Let me get over to the Trailblazers. Let me put on court here Avdia, and we don't know if Anthony Simons is playing, by the way, which does impact points more than anything because that's really all that he offers to the game at this point. Let's put Jeremy on there with him and DeAndre Dominatin, as he so dubbed himself. And then Scoot is just in the starting lineup now. Like, that's just his lineup. They're bringing Shaedon Sharpe off the bench. Shaedon Sharpe is not playable within a system of basketball, man. Shaedon Sharpe is just going to do Shaedon Sharpe all the time. That's it. Honestly, Shaedon does seem like the type of dude that would refer to himself in the third person and would actually say, Shaedon going Shaedon. I think I could see Shaedon Sharpe saying that. That's all I'm saying. Look at that man's shot diet. That's all you need to do. Like, he's the number one type of dude that you're like, yo, why did you shoot that? And the answer is because I was feeling it. And you're like, right, but it was a behind your back to lead into a fadeaway one-legged three. Why would you shoot that? I was feeling it. Okay. All right. I can see we're done here. Got it. Thank you. Thank you, Shaedon. So DeAndre's at 20.8. Let me see. I was looking at Denny. Excuse me. I got into my shit. This is still a good number. He's at 9 rebs per 36 minutes when he's on the floor with Jay Grant. Jeremy Grant doesn't want to rebound. He doesn't want any part of the paint. He's allergic to the paint. That's a really good point. Jeremy Grant just really wants to stay in the corner and shoot those threes. That's Jeremy Grant. So Jeremy Grant wouldn't say Jeremy going to Jeremy for sure, but it's also because it doesn't work with Jeremy as much. Denny on the boards better than the assist. So I like where your head's at, Free Sauce. I can see that. Yeah, I mean, this was brought up. I think Crank Zone actually likes DeAndre Ayton in this game, right? And so he took him on the double-double. I think he got a decent price on that. And if Dominatin gets like 30 minutes, he should be good for 10 boards and probably the points too. So he's probably a good look tonight in this game because especially when you do look at some simple stuff here on FanDuel Fantasy Pros, this is team defense versus position stuff. We've talked about this before in the past. Also linked in the description of the video for those of y'all who are not familiar with it. Centers this season are kind of doing work against Miami. Third most rebounds against them. And there's a couple of thoughts behind that. I was talking to Modai about this. That being that like there's a lot fewer threes going up for the Heat here. So there's a lot more rebounds close to the hoop than there have been in the past, and that is leading to rebounds for big centers who are bigger than Bam. Like they're bigger. Most dudes are bigger than Bam. He's an undersized center at like 6'9". So yeah, I think DeAndre Ayton, just to finish the point with the FanDuel stuff, if you were to take Avdia ladder, his rebound prop at 6.5 is actually a really good look. The more I think about it and look at it, what's the let's put him at the power forward spot and see rebounds against Miami. Oh, yeah, they're still giving up boards to the power forward spot, too. I really like this bet. I like this find from Free Sauce on Denny Avdia. Now I'm really considering tailing. If we can guarantee that he's going to play like 30 minutes, which I don't know why he wouldn't. Now, we do have those ugly numbers with and without Jeremy Grant. But now we've come back here, and with Jeremy Grant, Anthony Simons was missing, but I think Avdia is in there, man. He's like the adult in the room for this team, honestly, more than anybody. And to be fair, Jeremy Grant's kind of the adult in the room as well. And now we're going to have Scoot out there. Let me put Scoot. Yeah, I put Scoot on court too, right? Yeah. So this is going to be a lot of minutes with these guys. I think that's a great look for the boards for Avdia. What's the best number here? 6.5 minus 112. That's starting to look pretty good. I'm going to be honest with you. You kind of have me on that one. All right. I'm afraid I'm going to screw up your mojo, Free Sauce, but I'm going to tell you on it. Let's go ahead and put that bet in. I don't have access to Bet Rivers, but Bet Rivers has minus 112 if you want the best number there. But we can put minus 115 over 6.5 boards for Avdia on this one. Do we feel like DeAndre Ayton's going to be playing minutes? Because he's also got like a really low prop here. And now I'm worried that he's going to get most of the boards. I guess I shouldn't be worried that he's going to get most of the boards, but the double-double is starting to speak to me for DeAndre Ayton on a tail of Crank Zone right there. Let's put in the Avdia over 6.5 rebounds. He's got a nice, what am I trying to say? A nice edge there. Thank you, brain. All right. Add to the card. Denny Avdia. It takes a minute to think about how to spell Denny Avdia over 6.5 Rebs minus 115.
So we did just have an update for you.
Okay.
Anthony
Yeah.
is available to play, and Robert Williams is available to play.
Yeah. I was confident in Robert Williams, but that's also partly like I don't know how much he's going to affect DeAndre Ayton's minutes or not. So I'm kind of worried about taking him. So I'm still good with the Denny bet though.
Okay.
With that news, but yeah, it's good to know. I mean, let's just put Anthony Simons on the court with these guys, and this will be the starting lineup tonight. It's not much with this lineup is the problem. So we don't really have much to go off here off of 13 minutes with these guys playing together. This hasn't been the lineup much, but I guess that is the scary part too. But I mean, how do you take Denny out of the starting lineup at this point? He started because Simons. I wonder if he started for Simons. That's kind of the thing. Now I'm scaring myself. I don't know why, because he still has the edge, but I don't know how Anthony Simons comes in and messes up the math. To be honest, I guess we shouldn't worry about it too much because the thing is without Anthony Simons, there's a good amount of minutes here. Like 70 is a decent enough sample size to go that like when Anthony Simons comes out there and takes 10 more minutes, it's not really impacting shit enough to worry about it. And he's not trying to go get boards. I mean, it can still impact shit, but I think it's a good look. I'm going to go with it. I'm going to ride with my guy. So we're good to go. And the edge here for this at 6.5, 9 is still going to be, minus 130, basically. Yeah, I would say minus 125, but I would still probably play this at minus 130, to be honest. So that's where we're at. Let's see here. Just want to make sure I get everything on the card so I don't mess this up. So a couple of things too, like when you're looking at the fact that I'm taking like a bunch of stuff in the same game. So for instance, on this Toronto game with the props here for both of the double for both the centers, basically like it's mostly a minutes play for Wendell Carter, but for Jakob it's just as long as he plays his normal 30 minutes, we're good to go. So it can seem weird sometimes take points for this guy and that guy. I wouldn't always recommend taking too many guys on the same team for too many overs. Obviously, if it's a different prop, right, assists and rebounds versus 3 different guys to go over on their points, that would be something I'd be scared of. But asking 2 different guys to get 10 points and 10 rebounds in the same game opposite each other really just comes down to how often are they out there, because they can both be equally successful or unsuccessful as each other, and depending on how you look at it. But if they're getting the minutes and the volume, then someone's going to have to get those boards when they're boxing each other out. So just keep that in mind here. Let's get to we don't have anything on the we're not going to get anything on the 76ers game, to be honest, right? And we're not going to get anything on the Wizards game either. That's going to help us make these calls. And I wouldn't be willing to bet on either game at all without knowing about the 3 important players for the 76ers in Yabu and Drummond and PG, and then the players, basically AD and to a degree LeBron. Like LeBron has a probable tag, but I could easily see that not being a go. If we have no LeBron or I could see AD being the guy that's sat. I'm still super down to take like Jackson Hayes if we get his props against the Wizards. It's just like centers against the Wizards all day, every day, and twice on Sundays. And to be fair, the Lakers are giving up like the most. What we just saw it a second ago was the most rebounds to centers, or second most rebounds to centers on the season for the Lakers. So AD or no AD, like this team's giving it up to the opposing center. The problem is you'd have to take Joval because Sarr is not necessarily a rebounding center that I'd want to be betting an over on, AD or no AD, to be honest. So just keep that in mind. I'm not gonna be able to get to that stuff here. I do want to see about any other things that I feel like maybe we can get a look at it. Is AD probable now? Is that I see Aiden talking about that. Has he always been probable? I thought he was questionable. I actually know he was questionable.
Yeah, nothing
now he's
new.
probable. Okay.
Where do you see that?
On the actual NBA injury report.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if they did or didn't add it on the on Underdog, but it looks like AD is going to be a go tonight if he just got updated to probable from questionable. They could have just left him questionable if they really thought there was a chance he wasn't going to play. So it does seem like he's on par to play. Now we got to see if we do want his stuff. And that's kind of what I'll probably end it on here and try to get a couple more looks if I can. But 80, 27.5 points, but the boards are 12.5, obviously juiced down. I don't feel like messing with it. I think the Q1 points is what I talked about in the episode last night. It's 9.5. I mean, I guess you can get 8.5 here. That's basically his season average. I don't need to get nasty with that and hope that he takes like 8 shots in the first quarter. I don't really want to mess with that. So I'm going to be good on that. One quick reminder for everybody too, that we do have, I believe I now have one code left for the up 10 here to get 50% off your first month. 5 total codes it started with. We got one left now. So if you do want to get in for 50% off your first month, you can do that. If you want a free month to trial it out, you can also get that using code LYB when you sign up for any of these books that you see here that are listed scrolling underneath me, as well as in the description of the video. You can find all the links to those in there: BETR, Sleeper, Underdog, and a couple others. So appreciate everybody's time. Feel free to hit me up too. You can jump in the free part of the Discord and get all the looks here from our VIP cappers if you're interested in grabbing that as well. I'm going to do my best. I should be able to get a video up for tonight because I believe we already have props starting to creep in here for Wednesday. I think we've got 2 games that are already on the slate here. I think it's a pretty big slate tomorrow too. I'm just pulling up #basketball real quick to check that out. So Wednesday's got 9 games. Yeah. So I'm gonna be able to get to some of this stuff early here since we only have 5 games today. And I'll have a video up tonight for the NBA looks tomorrow. And then we'll be back as always with the live show, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. And you guys can jump in and we'll go from there. Looking to revamp this thing a little bit moving forward too. We're gonna have some pretty fun updates, I think, to the live show here in just a little bit of time with David and I working behind the scenes for you guys. But other than that, best of luck to everybody tonight. And until I see you later, happy betting.